It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright, we're back with the Knights this time. With the Bloodwyrm helmet for the Knight. Which you actually get as a bonus if you get Auric Cells. So here we are. Now we get the Dwight. Seems like he's losing his mind. here's the thing that that's really funny that you're gonna like about this gameplay I recorded, because I was actually like recording on my off time to try to at least get some extra BP so I could finally get my prestige outfit to complete the build, my outfit that with the Bloodwyrm. And we found this really overconfident White, and I was like, man, like, and then he just gets absolutely folded, and I was like, damn. He was shining the light, losing his mind. Just gets folded like an origami tutorial video, like, golly. Like a damn napkin. Oh my goodness gracious. At IHOP specifically. Like, golly, man. Crazy. So that was great. We got the down instantaneously pretty much. And it worked out for us. It worked out for us. Now, for the naysayers, right? Because I know there might be somebody saying, oh, why do you have Corrupt then if you're going to down him that quickly? The fact that Corrupt was there meant that all the survivors are going to move to the back of the map, where I had hooked Dwight. Now the Dwight immediately DCs, of course he does, right? Because he got finessed. He came in there talking a big game, trying to shine the light in my eyes, like losing his mind, and then he got folded. now Sable oh man, if I was able to get the full lunge, that would have been a beautiful double tap. But we know which direction they're gonna run, so that's why we placed the guard in that direction. The guard just immediately follows her, and then while that's happening, we slap up another Sable. So they're actually leaving the bot on the hook, and it was shambles from minute one, right? Like we kick that gen, that's fine. The Sable actually grabs the banner, which is fine. We actually use the guard here to slap down that pallet, break it, and then we just mind game and knock down this goofball, get more surge. And then while they're doing that, we're actually gonna go find a pain res and blow up the gen again. So it's great. It was such a great start, and it really brings it on home. It brings it on home that we show our dominance with the Knight. Even though I am a Ghostface main, it is good to kind of stretch the legs a little, try out different characters. I have played Knight a lot in the past. But now I feel like, with the latest, headgear that had come out, I really feel like this is my opportunity to fully get into using Knight, especially with how cool the helmet is, combined with the prestige cosmetic. I don't have it on in the gameplay, unfortunately, because like these gameplays were recorded while I was actually trying to get the cosmetic. But I'll be sure to actually, post the video with the full build of the cosmetic and all that other stuff. For those kinds of videos, where we cover fashion in the fog, if you will, and we'll definitely take full advantage of that. Now they're already out of the game. The bot's out the game. Sable gave up too. Whole lobby's given up. Now this Sable gives up as well. Whole lobby gave up. I'm like, man. So we just deposited our droplet. He wants some extra blood points for extra BP. To get all our points, we try to place them right in the circle, get our extra value there. The whole lobby gives up. So it was great. It was very satisfying. I gotta say, it's like those videos on the Tic Tac or whatever you call it. So we're just looking around trying to figure out where the survivor could have possibly ran off to. Which we just kind of assume that they're going to get hatched anyway, because they're probably not going to get the save. But we're just getting our points. And I figure we might find them, but probably not, so we'll just cut forward, probably to the next one. Diving into the next gameplay, we have Spirit Fury Enduring, what I usually run on my Ghostface, but I wanted to switch it up and kind of see if it does help me out at all with any chase potential. While I was placing a guard, I actually heard the Ada walk by, so I was trying to see if maybe the guard would like try to reach, but I don't know if the guard got stuck. I don't know what happened. Guard wasn't trying to reach, so it was fine. We just got on ahead and continued to follow them. Now, for some reason on this map, like holding forward is quite strong. I don't know how. It's a small map, but you know you would think it'd be easier to catch people, but no, it's quite powerful. So we placed the guard down and tried to catch them with the range maybe, but for some reason it just didn't reach, which I find a little odd. I think it's because of how long it takes for it to actually spawn in. And as you can see, they just kind of hold forward for a while. This is kind of what you kind of expect to see with survivors. They don't actually try to loop or anything. They just do a lot of running straight in a straight line. We try to follow somebody else, but sprint burst. So it's like, okay, well, I mean, can I get into like a chase, like, or like loop or something? But no, they don't really loop. So they're like running though, but looping is not something they do. So we just figure, okay, well, we're gonna have to try to find a different survivor, like with somewhere. We place on a droplet, you know, just for more points in the meantime, as I figure that points are going to be the most important thing that we go for during the event, as because I wanted the prestige cosmetic for the night. If we actually follow Ada here, I figured that they were going to try to place the pallet down, but they just hold W anyway, so which was a bad play on my part. I should have easily just followed right through and just gone for the M1 as normal. Because placing the guard actually does slow me down because I'm actually like not moving while that's happening, obviously, and I have to then place a guard as a result. So it seems like they drop down. We just tried to they're probably gonna drop the pallet. We just go ahead and just take that. We don't break it though, because you know that this type of survivor is just not going to play the game. They're just going to keep running in a straight line. So that's why we just continue to follow them, try to get the pallet out of it at the very least, but we don't break it because we just can't. And because they kind of fumbled there, I for some reason didn't get the M1. So because they're being petty, we just go ahead and just pull them out of the locker. Even though it's not like we had surge regardless, I guess they attempted some kind of blind. It doesn't work at all. They don't. It just goes to show they don't ever pay attention to patch notes, because that's not how that works. So we're trying to get our guard out. You know what I'm saying? Place it down, we go ahead and kick the generator. Now we have the positional advantage. And now we can start getting some Spirit Fury, so we start breaking down that. We know Dwight went up the ramp. We're not worried about Dwight, we're just worried about getting these pallets out of the way so we can then start to get Spirit Fury back in our possession for the start of the match. Because in this situation we are in a bit of a bad spot. Like obviously it was just been a struggle to even get that down, not because of even to looping. Like you would think like, oh yeah, you know, like they played smart and they strategized and they actually, you know, looped the killer, but no, it was quite literally just running. So it was unfortunate, but while in the meantime, while the guard's kind of defending, we just start placing down some more blood droplets to get some more points. We actually get the M1 on the Jonah. The other one, Jonah actually goes for the save, so I figure we can try to go for Ada, but as expected, you're going to notice here, because we do get the right play. We have Spirit Fury. We know what we're doing. But, of course, they just have a perk off the record. So, you know, so I was like, I figured I did what I could in that situation. I mean, the perk is just kind of doing all the work for them. And then they just kind of double back. So it just wasn't even worth attempting to continue to chase that. Due to the fact that, you know, perks are just going to do all the work for them. Once again, another perk, background player trying to come in to prevent me from getting the pickup, but they don't. It just goes to show that it's really just perks doing all their work for them, because they're not actually, you know, utilizing any strategy. Because if they did, they probably could have gotten the blind. So he placed the guard down, trying to put it in toward that rotation, hopefully to catch somebody. We actually get the Sable, so it seems like they were trying to kill them. But I figure while Sable's being chased by the assassin, we have to go for Jonah because we need to start creating pressure. We see the other survivor running away, but we figure we need to go for the Jonah, which disabled. It did actually get hit by the assassin. Now, because of the effect of the blood circle, it actually makes the blood pools disappear faster, and I think it actually makes you quieter and stuff like that. So I wouldn't have actually known where they were. Now, what I try to do is place down the guard around that location. It actually does catch Jonah, so we know that Jonah is going to be the weakling here. So that's what we decide to focus on, because we need to start creating pressure now, because we can see just by how the gens are going and how the positioning is. Of course, once again, another second chance perk. Who would have guessed, right? Like another one coming into play. You know, how many endurances did they need, right? I mean, they have like at least 4 different health states for some reason. So either way, right? We're playing it as well as we can, so we go ahead and drop down from this other way to throw them off. While he tries to drop the pallet, we actually face the wall here, which is great. And then they go ahead and try to shine the light again, thinking Batman's gonna save them. It's not. He's not, buddy. He's not going. So we go ahead and start dropping the guard down, sort of in front of them down the hall. And then that'll also catch Sable again. She'll be preoccupied, dealing with the assassin, and then that's when we'll start breaking out some stuff. Getting our little boost as well from the blood circle, but also trying to make sure we open up the opportunity there. Now, they're just really fast, so there's not much you can really do. Besides, I'm just going to put down another guard, hopefully to catch them there. And it actually does end up catching somebody else who was actually running behind me. So that was actually good for me. I think because they had gotten saved. So we then go ahead and follow through with them, just to kind of see if we can catch where Jonah possibly ran off to. Which we're just taking a look around. Doesn't seem like we really could find him that easily, so we just continue to follow, and we keep our eyes peeled, you know what I'm saying, our ears open, so we can then find where the Sable is now, who has not really taken a hook yet, but that's fine. We're really applying a lot of pressure. We place a guard down here, just to take a quick look around, because we also see blood pools, which he then gets caught by the guard again. So now we're preoccupying 2 different survivors. For the most part, we're trying to find out where that Jonah went, but I figure I'll just have to rotate back around this way, which unfortunately, because the Carnifex's a little bit slow, it seemed I was a little bit thrown off there because of the pathing, but wasn't a complete loss because we just rotate back around toward the gen, which we know everybody's going to, and we know the path they're going to take is down the hall to the right, so that's why we placed the guard there. Sable then once again gets followed by yet another guard, so she's just getting followed by the guard pretty much all game. It's extremely hilarious, I gotta say. I really love that. I'm not sure why the assassin kind of moved backwards like that. I think that was a little weird, but thankfully thankfully she tries to fly into a locker and then the guard just yanks her out. So that's another thing I love about the Knight's guards. They just pull her right out like, nope, get back here. And then just flop to the ground. And then you just go ahead and start to defend this generator. We know this, of course, you know, they have sprint burst or some speed boost, or who knows, right? Because they're always like really fast for some reason. So we go for the M1. For some reason, it just didn't detect it. I don't know why it ended up hitting the wall. It must be some Amos's problem. But we try to drop the guard down, so when they go for the save, it'll actually catch somebody, which once again, Sable gets chased by the guard. So she's been getting chased by guards like the entire match. Until eventually, I think she gave up. Oh my god, it was great, man, seeing that happen, man. It's just so satisfying. It's so fun for me to allow that to happen, and then we actually are able to gain a lot of pressure off of that. So we just go ahead and place them on the hook. They were last on to get them out of the game, and then we can start allowing to get some pressure. Which they're of course trying to brute force the generator. There's actually 3 people trying to push 1 gen. That's a little bit much, I gotta say. I don't think that's really necessary, but hey, we were able to hit 1. We also know that Jonah's still back here, so we're gonna actually rotate this guard around, so he has no choice but to get caught by it. And then as a result, we can just kind of look around, see where the guard is. We actually tried to either get the hit ourselves or get the guard to do it, but he's a little too slow. If it was the assassin, he maybe could have got it, but we leave Ada on the ground next to that gen. We try to rotate the guard around it, but I placed it a little bit too late, so he just holds W up the stairs, which is unfortunate. I should have probably just followed through or done something else. Now, we try to go ahead and follow through. I forgot there was a window there. I was a bit thrown off. But he is like double vaulting like crazy, so he does actually block the gen for himself. I mean, not the gen, but blocks the window for himself. He's of course trying to run to the locker because, I mean, honestly, they zone themselves out and then they want to start running into lockers. I don't know what they're doing. But we just place him on the hook here with a little blood, the blood droplet. It turns out he was also dead as well, so we just go ahead and pick up our droplet if we can, but we cannot. It is protected because we placed it down, I guess, for the first time or something like that. I forget the intricacies of the actual event. Now we just go ahead and kick another generator, get some more points out of it. But for the current goal that we're trying to reach now is like finding somebody else. We could just down the Delita. I believe it's because she gave up as well. So that was actually very hilarious. Now we once again try to look around, but obviously due to, you know, everybody playing hide and go seek, you know, we aren't able to really do that. So we're just gonna cut forward to when we actually just kind of clear them out of the lobby. All right, so now we find out where they are. We go after the Lisa here. We hit them, and I think at this point is when they actually decided to start giving up, which is actually really good for me. She starts pointing at the direction that her teammate is, I'm assuming. So I'm trying to tell them, like, you know, like, try to signal, like, yes, like, show me where your team is. Yeah, you know, yeah, you know. So I'm assuming that means, yo, hey, I'm gonna rat out my teammate, like, you know, F that person, you know, let's go find them and we can kill them. So they keep on pointing. I'm like, all right, like, you know, where's Ada? Like, come on, you know. So they keep just pointing and pointing. I'm like, okay, can we get to the destination? They start vaulting for some magical reason. And then they want to go, oh, I want to do the gen. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you're not doing no damn gen. And so I make sure I kick it in their face. I'm like, anyway. And then I go ahead and pick them on up and place them right there. Because they're not doing no gens. You're not getting away. We're not friends. No, I want my points. Get out of my lobby. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we just take a look around. It seems like Ada is kind of messing around, BMing the Alita here. So I was trying to at least like maybe wait till they go for the save or something. But I figured I'd just drop the guard, get some points. Why not? And then while they're doing that, we just start hitting the Ada. She starts like BMing them, but I don't really care. I just make sure I kill them as well. Because they you know, as I've said in another stream that I've done at one point or another. You know, everybody goes down equally. You know what I'm saying? I don't let anyone escape. Like, everyone is going to go down at like equally. No one gets special treatment. Everybody gets bodied. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we hit both of them. We nod no on both of them. Make sure no one's left out. You know what I'm saying? And then we can then proceed to the next match. Diving into another match with the Bloodwyrm Knight helmet cosmetic that you get from getting some auric cells in the shop, you know, in the game, of course. And honestly, highly recommend running the prestige body armor, of course. Now we cut forward a bit. We actually find that there's like an explosion going on over there, so I didn't even realize what that was about. But we actually did get the hit on the James here. Now he does kind of fly off toward maybe Shack's side, I believe. So this is when we activate our guard to kind of, because we kind of know what path he's gonna take. So we actually place down the guard there. But he actually got detected within that area of the pallet. So the banner does kind of go down in that particular spot. Due to pathing, surprisingly, he was actually able to grab it. So, but because he was going for that, we already knew he was gonna go vaulting anyway. Come on now. Right, we immediately just down him anyway near the thing that we want to focus on as well, so that we actually were able to get some draw value, blew up at least 2 gens. You know that this is the area where the gens are really being progressed. The disrespect from Alan, of course, just not even afraid of the Knight's presence at all. That's insane, right? So we figured, okay, maybe this person's AFK. We're just gonna drop down the guard and then try to have them, you know, hit them for me. But they decide to come back right as the guard lands. So we were at least able to get a free M1 here. It would have been cool for a double tap, but we're not able to actually get that. We do kind of hide the light there, but they're just holding forward as they always do. So we actually drop a guard down, assuming that they were actually going to drop the pallet. They did not. And then we just kind of hide the light here, utilizing the footwork, kind of pushing them back toward that, and they actually have to make a bad vault as a result, which is good for me. So now we can utilize another pain res hook to start regressing the gen for the second time, because, you know, Alan's probably back on that same exact gen, so we're just going to go ahead and blow it on up. Yo, but you see him right there. You can see him right there. So we go ahead and drop the guard down. We rotate it toward the inside, because, you know, he's going to try to find some way around it. Thankfully, with Map of the Realm, we're actually able to get the catch there. And he tries to fly off, which, once again, you know, hide the light. Did the same move as before. It did actually disorient me because I was figuring that he seemed pretty fast. I don't expect him to have zoomed past me like that, but the assassin did actually get the hit, so he tried to grab the banner, but he did not. He was not able to do so, which is great for us. Now, as we continue to chase him, we're actually going to notice that there's actually somebody on the generator in this main building. He does kind of fumble there, so we knock him down, get some nice jolt on both the generators again, but we notice that they're actually on the main building gen, and we've been locking them in with the 5 gen mark for quite a good amount of time. So what we try to do here is just go ahead and break the gen, and then while that is regressing, we can then pick up and then we try to use our pain res hook in order to get yet another explosion on the generators. So we're really just kind of keeping him locked in into this 5 gen mark. We see James again, so that's kind of who we want to go for because he's been hooked before, I believe, or maybe he wasn't actually. I don't remember, because this is post commentary, obviously. Now we do get the M1. He was gonna fly into the guard, so either one of us would have probably gotten the hit. He starts flying toward this particular area. It's a double pallet location. I guess he hesitated, thinking I was gonna respect the pallet. I'm not. I'm not gonna respect that pallet, especially because the way the positioning is. I would want to get rid of the pallets as soon as possible, in order to get the most amount of value from it. Now, we try to reclaim the droplet, of course, and then place it again so we get an extra bit of a bonus. We have a bunch of blood circles around the area, so we're in a really good position to get some good amount of points. We know that they're going to probably be on that generator next to the main building, so that's why we placed the guard there. Of course, we caught somebody. It was a Nancy again. So what we try to do is go from inside, but then they actually just start pushing the other way for some reason. So this gives us the advantage here. He tries to, which we corral them, right? We're like, either way, we're gonna get a hit. So we're just trying to get the guard to do it for the extra like fun of it. But just not able to from what we're seeing just yet. But because they did drop the pallet, it does actually make them lose distance. So we were able to get the M1, able to get the hit on them. So then we place another guard. We place another guard, and then she just gives up. Like, all right, you got it. Like, yeah. He just gives up. Like, all right, you got it. Oh my god, that is really funny. Oh man, it's one of my favorite things about playing Knight. It's just when they just give up. They're like, all right, you got that. So we put them in the basement. Because of the way hooks can be in like a lot of maps. If they give up on the hook or something and it destroys that hook that you want to use, it can kind of make it more difficult for you later. So what I try to do is I try to put them in the basement so that they can just kind of give up on that hook so that it doesn't disappear. As you can see, Nancy gives up. So I try to put them on the basement one so that it doesn't actually affect the rest of the map, in order to give me that hook opportunity, because a lot of times you can place them on hooks and it'll end up actually making it a dead zone for your hooks, so they can kind of, you know, utilize that to their advantage. Now, I'm surprised I didn't get the hit. I was actually within the circle, so I was actually attempting to get the longer lunge, but I wasn't in range. We also rotate the pathing around the shack so we could try to catch them, but I figured they just kind of disappeared, so we just go ahead and get our droplet back and shift it somewhere else. We get some more points for it. So we were in a very good position. We're still at the 5 gen mark, and we already got somebody out of the game, so it is really awesome. They finally got a gen done, so we kind of have a general idea where they're probably going to go, so that's why we placed the guard pretty much in that path, because you know that they're going to try to find some way to rotate, which, as you can see, we did make the right guess, but we didn't put it in the tile to catch them there, so that was a bit of a fumble on our part. And that's why we want to try to go around, try to get the pallet out if we can. We do go for the hit there, but the aim assist actually pulled us toward the pallet, which is unfortunate. But we do end up getting some free pallets out of it. Now, because it's a double pallet, he starts losing his mind about it, so, you know, it's completely fine. I really don't care. I got both pallets out, the width, like, pretty much is what I wanted. and it's connected to other pallets. So what I try to do is I path it toward the inside of that that tile, because we know that we're going to go for it. Map of the realm value, it does actually catch them there, so while we're doing that, we can actually start to chase the James now. We're doing quite well. We did get a little bit stuck on that pallet there. We do kind of catch them there. We do make some distance, but they're still able to reach the pallet pretty easily. That's why we're trying to get in a good position to actually get the M1. Now, the pallet's not really the safest pallet in the world or anything like that, but we just don't want to take a whole stun for it. It just seems unnecessary, especially because they can make a ton of distance. They actually do decide to drop the pallet here, so we're trying to get in the right angle to get the guard to break it for me. But I actually broke it on the wrong side anyway, giving them the rest of the map. But we still get the down anyway. Of course, Alan's like losing his mind for some reason. A lot of survivors tend to get very overconfident when they get like like maybe a pallet stun or something. They just kind of lose their minds. So that gives me the opportunity to place on the assassin here. I don't even need to M1 him myself. I'm gonna make sure like to really bring it on home. You know, really. I'll let the guard take care of you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even need to worry about using my sword on you. I'll let the assassin do the work for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not worthy. So we just get him out of there. And then we try to go find James, which you know that they're going to be on this gen over here. So that's why we place the guard there. Which it actually does zone them to push them back over toward where the shack is at. Now we try to actually push into the shack, vault in, but he's kind of waiting on the corner. And then we try to go around, but I didn't actually notice that the blood was leaving the shack, so that was a bit of a shambles on my part. I think it was leaving the shack or something. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. I was actually doing the right thing. Shambles for me in the commentary. So we have the guard to break down this pallet, so we just do that. We just get them to break it for us, walk right through. Of course, it connects to another pallet, so once again, I mean, what do we expect from a guard in a joy map? So we just place on the guard that way to push him away from the area, and then we just zone him by downing them as a result. So really solid on my part, I would say. We can go ahead and break down the pallet just so we get the extra points for it and get rid of the resource. And then we can also eliminate the James out of the game as well. And then we can then fly on over to the rest of the match. Because we do cut forward here because they did end up playing hide and go seek for the rest of the match. So now, here we are. We're going to go ahead and take a look here. Now we finally have Alan caught by the guard. And then from there, we can then start to leverage the game again. So we can start getting Alan out of the game or on another hook and stuff like that. So I was actually attempting to go for another hit there to get a nice double tap for the clip, of course. I thought it would be very fun to do that. But, you know. No, I assume he might. I don't know why he's doing like that weird shimmy thing. And he just kind of stood there. So I don't know what he was doing. But we do get him on the ground. And then we can just place them on the hook, and then we can just kind of keep it moving. Now, I cut forward again because due to like the placement of the hooks, due to the placement of the gates, they were just too far, so I wasn't able to actually defend it. So I just kind of just focused on getting my blood points until the gate was open, pretty much, because it was just extremely far away. So we're just gonna cut forward, and then we'll dive into the next gameplay. Alright, so we're in the third game, I would say, I guess, in the video. We're going to try to go ahead and showcase the power of the Knight in this gameplay here. That's exactly what I would describe it as. We immediately place down a little droplet there for us, so we get a little bit of extra BP. And we also spawn next to a little droplet ourselves, so we can actually get an extra droplet. Which means more blood points, which is awesome for us. Now, we see somebody kind of in the distance. I figured I would try to like start placing on the guard and rotate it around the main building in order to try to catch them, because I had assumed that they would try to loop, but I forget that they tend to just kind of run away and hold forward off of everything they ever do. They never loop, so we know that already, so we just have to, I just had forgotten that aspect, that they don't tend to want to actually loop anything. So surprisingly enough, we actually see a survivor actually trying to utilize, their environment to give them their teammates as much time as they can. I would have to actually say that's something that's actually smart, but doesn't really mean much because we have corrupt, and obviously their teammates are not on any generators really, except maybe the shack, which we place the guard in the shack, which it ends up actually hitting the Kayla, and then we just double tap. knock her on the ground. And then we also hit the Dwight as well, who's focusing on working on a boon. So we just snuff it right out, get our extra points for it. Now, because there's at least 2 survivors in the area, we can't just immediately pick up. So we tried to just, like, you know, fake the pickup, take a look around. We know Dwight got caught by the guards, so at least no one's occupied. But remember, the Sable is still in the area, so we can't really go for the pickup without a pallet drop. So we just try to place another droplet, you know, then like try to walk around, see where we can find Sable, and focus on downing Sable next if we can. But they do immediately reach a pallet, so we just break it, and then we go ahead and place down a guard in sort of on top of where we know they're going to be, which is by that pallet. It immediately detects Jake. All of the animation, like, it really helped out that the animation got like it clung on to the doorway, allowing them to gain as much distance as they could. Got a hit on Jake. Now we have everybody injured already, and all we would really need to do now is just down either Michaela or Jake, and then get a pain res going, and we pretty much have the greatest positioning here and the greatest pressure we could possibly get. Now here's where it goes quite well, because you know they just, I guess they kind of I guess they didn't really believe in their ability to reach the pallet, so they just started spinning around. So, and then they started shining the light into the sky, looking for Batman, who's not going to save them. So then we just go ahead and use pain res. And then we just get rid of that bone. So, more points for me. I mean, I got to say thanks to that Dwight, man. He's just looking out, you know, giving me free points. So we know now, okay, they're probably in Shack, working on the generator. We're going to place a guard in there, which is what we do, right? And as you can see, Dwight's right there. So he gets caught by the guard now. Now, he can't work on the gen anymore because the gen is still regressing. So while he's running around and we have the horse meat to make them stay in chase for longer, that wastes even more time, letting the gen regress for longer. And then while they get the save here, they're like trying to, I guess, wait for me to pick a side, an aisle in the supermarket looking at us. It's not how it works. So we go ahead and just break down that pallet as well. Cool. They do end up making another rotation. Probably not their best play, but they, which I have to say though, this was quite smart. Because we do fake that we're gonna go after them up there. They do use lie, then end up going somewhere else. So I mean, it is still perks doing perk things, but at the very least, we know that they actually tried to strategize around it. And I did actually try to go for the lunge there, but they did end up using sprint burst to give them the free distance. So what I do is I try to push them back toward the guard, but I didn't realize that the guard was gonna just follow the exact path that they take. So that was a bit of a shambles, but I did bait them to think that they can like pre-drop it so I wouldn't be able to reach them, allowing the big guy to fly in, get the easy down for me, and then of course they're trying to shine the light. And I guess they think they're playing Alan Wake or something, thinking that the light's gonna like stun me or something, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. And Dwight's gonna have to go down here most likely. So we left the assassin guard there because you know somebody might close in for a save. We actually got Jolt on like 3 gens. I actually turned around to like see if they're gonna go in for the save, which they are. But the guard actually did not detect anybody, which is interesting. But we end up using pain res. We're actually quickly trying to place the guard down because you know that they're gonna try to fly off. It does actually reach Jake. That's why I say run map of the realm all the time. Like that's like your #1 add-on that you're going to need to have on Knight. And now now we have Jake and the Sable in a position where they both are in chase. And this is what makes Knight to me so good. Like we can literally have multiple people pressured at the same time with just good placement of Knights, you know what I'm saying? So now we can once again get this one detected, and they fly right into my arms. So we knock them right back down. Dwight's still on the hook. Now we can just go ahead and use the hook right here. We already used about 3 tokens of pain res, so we're pretty much in a great position. Just slap them on there. We're great. Second state, still at 5 gens, now to 4. We got barbecue on 3 survivors. We know where everyone is. Now it's going to take another person to go for the save. We're going to focus on somebody else across the map. We try to place the guard, but we're a little bit too far. They actually end up, I think, seeing me place the guard down. Your best case scenario when placing on a guard is definitely not to be seen, because then, like, because the little orb does go invisible. Sable does give up, of course. And by having your orb be invisible, the Kayla got down by the guard. But by having that be, you know, invisible, it does help you place the guard without them really knowing about it, unless they actively are paying attention and can hear it. So we actually got stuck on the tires, and we used that as a mind game. We kind of flipped it back around, and then we were able to down the Dwight pretty easily. We placed him on the hook over here. Honestly, I would have to say very solid work on my part. We've established our dominance with the Knight very quickly. and we're completely folding the game. Because keep in mind that it's not always, you know, like with the character like Knight, you don't have to always go with the usual pursuing the target after unhook and the defending the objective necessarily as heavily, because of the fact that you're able to split up a lot of survivors and constantly have them having to do other things. Now we hit Jake, but we see Michaela's decided to stay in the area, so we focus on them. I'm assuming maybe it was actually, it could be balance, right? But thankfully I was able to get the easy down there. I'm not sure if it was like of just good positioning on my part, or if it was a lunge from the blood circle. I think it was just due to the fact that when you use balance, you still kind of stagger a bit before the speed boost kicks in. So I was able to at least utilize that. Now we don't really know where the other ones went because they got unhooked in that area, but we don't see any scratch marks of them running away. There's no sound, no nothing. So I figured I would just at least focus on getting Michaela out of the game as soon as possible, and then we place the guard down in case they try to blind, defending ourselves from that, and then we can just then go ahead and hook. And then from there we cut forward, so because they actually were playing hide and go seek all game, so we were just going to move it forward so that we can actually take a look at the actual chase. So we find Jake with the guard there. I'm trying to corral him there. I kind of got a little bit disoriented because I figured the guard should have been much closer. That's why I was assuming that they would still be in the tile, but they had just a giant speed boost from whatever they had. It could have been live or something. But either way, we then try to push them in toward the pallet here. They do end up dropping it, of course, which is exactly what we wanted. That's why we ran right past it. But we're trying to get the guard to go for the hit, obviously. But I do recommend just trying to get the M1 if you can, because the guards are really good at zoning them out and putting them into positions that they don't want to be in, which is, I find, to be one of the best aspects of using Knight. Now, I wouldn't recommend just dropping a guard on every single tile. I think that just kind of makes it a little bit boring, and you don't really get the you don't really get to fully maximize the value of the guards if you're just dropping a guard over everything, because they're not actually going to be able to actually get any hits with the guards, nor are you going to be able to corral them into better areas to gain more pressure. As you can see here, we were able to push them into this direction. That got Jolt to activate. That also showed me where the Dwight was. Now look at how I rotate the guard around, because you know the path they're going to take already, because we already knew that. This is game sense. So then we go ahead and the guard catches them. Now we can just zone them out because we're completely cutting off the map. They don't have any way of closing in because the guard's pushing them, and then I'm also pushing them as well to get them to go where I need them to go. And then we just down them immediately after getting rid of the totem, and we got him on the hook. Now they are gone. I was figuring I could try to get a little bit of extra BP from the event, but then I realized, wait, this is DVD we're talking about. They might try to spawn the hatch directly under them. So I was like, well, you know what? Let me make sure I quickly get the hook. I would rather get the hook and know that the game's done than magically, try to go for more BP and the hatch just spawns under them for whatever reason. We just want the 4K instead. So with that being said, we made it to the end of the video. So thank you so much. If you made it to this portion of the video, thank you so much for all the support we have lately. It's greatly appreciated, man. It's good to see that everybody wants to see the vision come true, With that being said, leave a like, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube things for me. If you want to see more Knight, leave a comment saying we want more Knight. And become a member for more exclusive content that you won't be seeing otherwise, and also, more Ghostface, of course, and all the other stuff. That being said, hopefully we'll see you in the next one.